Hello and welcome to Midnight Monday. I'm John Johnson and I wanted to talk today about how to transition into a vegetarian diet. It's tricky for a few reasons. One, you might be afraid to leave the kind of foods you love behind. You might be afraid of joining a life of just salads, which is what I was afraid of before I got into it, 'cause I didn't realize what vegetarian food there could be. And two, there's health trade-offs with it. It can be really tricky to get protein in a plant-based diet. Oh, it's just my dog jumping around. And on top of protein, there's things that you need like zinc and iron and magnesium and calcium. But through my experiences, adventures, and curiosity and experimenting, I've found a whole bunch of foods, vegetarian foods, that have helped me cover the nutritional aspect of it, as well as like make it feel like I haven't left my meat-based diet behind at all. So what do I want to start off with? Well, let's start with the basics, right? So there's actually a whole bunch of awesome brands that make plant-based meat. Gardein and Morningstar are the main two that I go to, and they've got a whole bunch of awesome stuff. My favorite, the first thing that kind of got me into it was Gardein meatballs. These taste pretty damn close to the real deal. And once you put sauce on them, you can't tell the difference at all. I make meatball subs with these all the time that I've given to my friends. They don't know the difference at all. And on top of it, the vegetarian meat, they're pretty good about making sure that this is also a good source of protein, which is great. Because back in my meat eating days, I would think, each meal, you have 3 meals a day, you need to hit, between, let's say, 90 and 150 grams of protein, depending on what your lifestyle is. You'd want probably close to 30 grams of protein in a given meal. So this one, meatballs, this is 14 grams of protein, but some of these over here are pretty impressive. What is this? This is Gardein meatloaf, and one serving is 21 grams of protein. So I just kind of want to go and go through each one of these individually and just talk about what you can do with them and what their nutritional benefits are. Also, you can find all of these at Target. I've seen these at Target and Safeway. Whole Foods has a pretty good selection also. I'm not sure what the popular grocery store where you are is, but I'm fairly certain you should be able to find these even at a Walmart. So just let's run through the list. We have Morningstar Griller crumbles. This is your typical ground beef. You can throw this in anything like a lasagna or on a shepherd's pie even. I make cheesesteaks with these. And a serving size of this is 70 calories, 9 grams of protein. You do a couple of those, you're looking at like what? If you do 2 servings, you're 140 calories, 18 grams of protein. I think that's a really good trade-off. We have Gardein again. This is lightly breaded turkey cutlets, and this comes with gravy in it. This is pretty tasty. We already talked about the Gardein meatloaf. This tastes like Salisbury steak to me. We have Morningstar breakfast sausage. This is awesome. This is, what is this, 80 calories, 8 grams of protein. Morningstar also makes a pretty good bacon. We'll get into all that. I don't have any now, but we'll get into all that. This is Morningstar taco mix. This stuff is awesome, like really good. Let's see. And then, I'm not super in love with this. This is Gardein crispy, I think, mandarin orange chicken. So Gardein and Morningstar have a couple of variations of this. I haven't been super impressed with the chicken, but that's okay because there's other options that we're going to get into down the line. There's another brand that's pretty popular called Corn. I don't like all of Corn's products because the texture can be a little strange, or it can come off a little dry, so you got to cook it with water. But the chicken cutlets are pretty good in a pinch. And these are 80 calories and 11 grams of protein. That's a really good ratio in my opinion. But okay, what else? One of the things I kind of forgot to mention was that when you think vegetarian, you think salad or veggie burger, or tofu. And I remember having tofu for the first time maybe a decade ago. And it's just disgusting. And it was horrifying. But I'm here to tell you, most of this stuff, like none of this, I don't think there's any tofu in any of this. There's no soy in most of this. It's mostly made with wheat gluten, which is the protein that's found in wheat. If you have celiac disease, unfortunately you can't eat that. So if you have celiac disease, you're gluten intolerant, a lot of these options actually aren't for you. I'm sorry, very sorry. But yeah, but don't, throw the whole idea of tofu out, out of your mind if that's not something you're into, because there's plenty of awesome tasting options. So Corn also makes sliced deli meat for sandwiches, pretty good. I also use these cutlets for sandwiches, but this is pretty good too. This is maybe not the best price trade-off. Most of these things are between $2 to $5. I think this is $6, and there's like 3 servings in here. So what I wanted to also get to about that, some of these special Gardein items, there's only about 2.5 servings in each of these. I think they're $3 a bag, so it's not bad, but it definitely feels like it might not be efficient, but we have options. Let's see. There's there's another brand called Field Roast. I don't like everything they do, but their veggie burger is awesome. And actually, this is vegan. So I'm not vegan, but I do feel a bit better when I have friends over, and so they might be vegan, and I have options for them. This is a tasty, tasty burger. It's 290 calories and 25 grams of protein. They also make hot dogs. These hot dogs are okay, but once you put ketchup and mustard on them and burn the hell out of them, they taste pretty good. And on top of that, it's about 220 calories and about 25 grams of protein. So pretty good if you're looking at nutrition also. But yeah, a couple other things back here. So I mentioned earlier, I'm not vegan. However, I was curious for a bad day, and I found some really cool products. So there's a vegan butter called Earth Balance. This stuff tastes just like butter to me. It's really good. I've been very impressed with it. And calorically, I think calorically it's actually worse than maybe margarine. It's worse than margarine, but it's not worse than butter. It's 80 calories per tablespoon, which I don't think is worse than butter, but it's definitely worse than margarine. And also, there's this stuff, Silk. Silk makes, if you look at it specifically, this is protein nut milk. Sorry to say it, but it's almond and cashew milk. This stuff is awesome because it's 10 grams of protein, which I think is more than a cup of regular milk. And I think I saw somewhere on here, there's actually more calcium in this than regular milk. Yeah, what is this over here? This is, it's 30% of your daily value of calcium. Okay, I'm not sure how much calcium regular milk has, but regardless, this is still a good source of protein and calcium if you don't want to do milk anymore. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, most of these things are still made with egg whites. So if you're trying to be a vegetarian that doesn't eat eggs, I'm sorry, I should have said that at the opening of the video. You wasted so much time. I'm not there. In terms of giving up gluten and milk and butter and eggs, I figured I kind of want things to still be flavorful, so this is the compromise for me. But we've mentioned it a few times already, you need to focus on protein. And it's going to be really tricky, even with all these high protein items, to get to your protein intake per day. So I do have a couple snacks. I'll throw a protein bar in there daily. This is 20 grams of protein. This is a brand I like called Builders. They're very tasty. And then I also eat Greek yogurt. Oikos has Greek yogurt called 000. It's like 100. Let's see, look at this. I don't want to see the calories, but it's like, I think it's about 120 calories and it's 15 grams of protein. So it's a big help. And then also, I didn't bring it out, but I buy, I'll just get it right now. Give me a second. You gotta squeeze your protein in there any way you can. So I buy Nature's Own brand of bread. This is whole wheat bread, and a serving size is 1 piece of bread, but it's 60 calories and I think 4 grams of protein. So if you have 2 slices, it's 120 calories and 8 grams of protein. Just for the sake of math, right? Let's say you have a serving of this, of your turkey. I think, what is this? It's, a serving is only 4 grams of protein. Well, that's not great. But you have a serving, let's say you double up. I think I double up. So 8 grams of protein, 8 grams of protein. You add a piece of cheese. You're at 20 grams of protein for a sandwich. Not terrible. Okay, we have a few other secret guest items. Another thing that's tricky to get in your diet once you become a vegetarian is iron. Luckily, corn-based products are pretty high in iron. So we have Chex over here. Chex makes a few new flavors than from when I was a kid. Blueberry's a pretty freaking awesome flavor. 1 bowl of this has 50% of your daily value of iron. So boom, we start the day off with a bowl of Chex cereal, and you're halfway there. So that's great. Grits. I didn't eat grits a lot as a kid, but I discovered this has 45% of your daily value of iron. So I started having this for breakfast also, just to make sure you're getting your iron, because it's important. Your blood needs it to oxidize stuff or something. So there's the main thing. We're going to talk about this guy in a second. If you are a cook, and you're a badass cook, and you use broths and gravy, and you're like, oh my gosh, veggie gravy is pretty gross, what am I going to do? How am I going to make substitute dishes if I don't have my gravy? I discovered this brand called Better Than Bouillon, and they are awesome. So they're veggie stock, right? So it's 1 teaspoon of this, 1 cup of water is the ratio. This is really flavorful on its own. But they also make what this is called no chicken base chicken stock. So this is vegetarian chicken gravy. And they also make a vegetarian beef gravy. So this is supposed to taste like beef, this is supposed to taste like chicken. I have not tried this yet, I only just got this. This is pretty good. So just keep those in mind. I've seen the beef one I had to buy online, but the chicken one I've seen at Whole Foods. So yeah, that's where I got this actually. Pretty good. Alright, we are down to the last item, and that is wheat gluten. I'm going to make a follow-up episode down the line about how to use this. But you can actually make your own seitan at home. Seitan is a fake meat based on wheat gluten. Really simple to make. You just need, veggie stock. Another thing called nutritional yeast. But once you make it, it's about 120 calories per serving and 23 grams of protein, which is about as good as chicken breast in terms of the calorie protein intake ratio. And you can do some awesome things with it. So I just wanted to put this out there just to show you, if you were curious about cutting meat back in your diet, or maybe just seeing if you can do vegetarianism, if that's the word for it, there are options. So just keep in mind, Gardein, Morningstar, try to hit your iron, and then maybe buy like a zinc supplement just to make sure you're covered. But I think that's that. Thank you for stopping by the Midnight Monday channel. Again, I'm John Johnson, and we're going to start cooking after this, I think. I probably shouldn't have done